Hey, it's your girl Just Bree coming at you with another video. Feel free to hit the like, share, subscribe. So I wanted to do I don't know how long it's gonna be, but a quick little video of my testimony about Kevin Samuels. I hope I don't cry. I don't think I'm gonna cry. Let's see. Um, so evidently, I just waited until I watched the Lapeep show. JR confirmed that Kevin that from a reliable source that they were able to confirm that Kevin passed away apparently sometime this morning. Didn't want to believe it, and I was waiting, and I was just like, finally, I was just like, well, I'm just gonna let me stop trying to figure this out, and just wait until tomorrow. I'll fall asleep and then wake up and see what's what. And then I'm like, well, a lot of people are reading the comments, and a few people were like, well, if it wasn't true, he would have came out and said something by now. So, but anyway, I'll just take JR's word for it, and so I just want to share how I was feeling in the moment. Um, I know I keep saying, please forgive me. So I don't know where I want to start. So I've been listening to Kevin for a couple of years now. Actually, uh, I think the Average at Best video was my um introduction to him, just like a lot of people, you know. And then I started to research him, where I saw that he was doing other things like fragrances and things of that nature. So, um, I became intrigued and everything like that. And I just started to listen, you know. And granted, he's not everybody's cup of tea. I'm not here to defend him. It's a lot of hatred online for him. And, that's people's right to express themselves. So I feel no ways about the hatred. I just kind of like, swipe left or right or whatever. Just move it along, move it along. Um, Anton Daniels was just saying, asking, requesting that people not make it a dumpster fire. But at the end of the day, people are going to say whatever the fuck they want. And, you know, at the end of the day, I keep saying that. I would rather just focus on the people who loved him. You can't get over 1 million and some followers without relating to somebody. Apparently he obviously had plenty of women that listened to him, but according to certain people, those women that, call in or listen are too dumb, to understand his motives. Whatever his motives are, I don't know. Other than, as far as I was concerned, was to try to make the black family, you know, um, an actual thing again, you know, like make America great again, make black families great again. How about that? Um, so a lot of people had feel their way about him, and that's fine. You're allowed to do that. I didn't agree with everything Kevin said. It was a lot of shit that I was like, Kevin, really? No. But I also take into consideration that he's older than me, wiser than me, has supposedly all this experience, and just I mean, just in general. I mean, he's older, so he has wisdom. Not saying everything he says is right. So, some things I was just like, oh Lord. And then sometimes, because I was just listening to him last night. So to hear about this today is like, whoa, 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 what? What do you mean? Like, I'm still not even like processing it. I feel like I really, I know the internet has become such a way that people have developed all kinds of ideas and relationships and, whatever. Um, and I know I didn't know him. And it's just kind of like, after listening to somebody so long, knowing practically what they're going to say next. I mean, like you said, some of the women that call, like he could answer them their own questions, or he could, he knew what was coming next. Because when you listen to somebody often, you just kind of get a vibe and you feel somewhat of a closeness to a certain extent. Um, so I just wanted to share a couple things that stood out to me that he helped me to realize. And the thing is, a lot of people like to say, well, he's not the this, that, or the other. He's never said he was a guru. He's never said he was. I've heard him say more than once that he's just a guy on YouTube. He was a um what do you call, a stylist guy or what have you. The speculation about whether or not he was gay, this, that, and the third. I don't see a lot of gay men promoting family between heterosexual couples. But I mean, that's not his personal life is really nobody's business. You know, Ayanla has gone through, you know, a period of time where people wanted to cancel her or they was talking reckless about some of the things she was saying and doing, like the whole gutter snipe comment she said to Neffy's or to Keisha Cole's sister Neffy, um and just calling a thing a thing. And a lot of people I had, this whole Kevin Samuels wave really helped me see people for who they really are. And sometimes I just thought he was just going in and going in, and then like the light would just come on. Because initially I'd be like, "Well, damn, Kevin, you going higher in the paint." And then I would have this like awakening, like, "Well, damn, she is selfish as hell." Or he'll ask a question a certain way, and I'm like, "Wow, that's a good question." And yes, he cut people off and he hung up on people and you know, just I mean, he ran his platform the way that he saw fit. People had a problem with that. It's like, fuck you. I mean, as an adult, you can say and do what you want to say, say and do what you want because and that's why a lot of times when the women would call, well, you shouldn't say this way and you shouldn't say this, ma'am. You not gonna tell, child. Couldn't be my father, cause you wasn't gonna tell him what to say and how to say, how to talk. Not no grown ass man. So that annoyed me, obviously. But just a couple of things that whew, that really stood out to me that helped me was because I'm a single mother, a baby mama, a baby mother of two kids, two different men, and I have a grown daughter. And I felt like at one point I could not, you know, um, promote marriage to her because I didn't live that life. She didn't see that. She didn't see me catering to a man or being a wife. So, I talked myself out of telling her that marriage was the way to go. And then one day, I guess this was part God too. And I just said, you know what? Fuck that. No, I'm going to tell her, get married. She may not. She grown, she's 25. But I'm going to tell her my feelings about marriage and why I didn't do it and why she should. But ultimately, it's her decision. Just like, for example, today, she was doing my nails because she runs a shop. And I said, what is a family? And she said, whatever. And I said, it's a man, woman, husband, wife, and children. I said, can you just promise me that you will get married before you have a child? Because regardless of, the statistics are out there, and you cannot, and they may be skewed depending on this, that, or the other. But ultimately, as a Black community, we know that um, we have more baby mamas than we have husband wives, right? So let's not, pretend that it's not a problem. We have our Black boys are reading at super low levels. Um, you know, I believe teenage pregnancy has gone down some, but this um promotion of living your best life, Miss Independent, this, that, and the third. That's just, ultimately, depending on what you want out of life, the sooner you get it, the better. Um, so again, like I said, the marriage thing, I asked my daughter to pinky promise me to just please be married. And I'm definitely going to promote counseling and all those things before she gets married. I have spoken to her about respecting her man. And a lot of times women like to say, "Well, I can't if he don't make me feel safe and he not he's not doing what he's supposed to do, then I'm not going to respect him." And that's fine because I'm talking I'm talking in reference to men that have their shit together. A lot of you hoes out here, y'all get with niggas that are fixer uppers, men 35 and over that working, was still working for minimum wage or whatever. And it's men that that we, I'll just say we, get with, and like my mother said, you picked them. We get with them, and then when they when they abandon us, or abandon the child rather, because sometimes we not even in a real relationship. We want to talk shit about the men, and I have had the opportunity to date some very respectable, and I only date men with jobs and careers. My issue was my issue. Um, and just for example, my issue was fear. Okay. And me and my daughter talked a little bit about that. And I had to explain it to her, like Kevin Samuels um, broke it down, that you have to pick. You're going to have to pick, and you have to trust yourself, when you decide to pick a mate. It's not always going to be love at first sight. It's not always going to be that feeling of butterflies. Sometimes you just have to make a practical choice. Okay? We got um this, that, or the other in common. He's a hard worker. He's family oriented. And my theory is, if it doesn't work out, at least you can say, well, he was this, that, and the other. We were together for however amount of time. And, I put forth my best foot forward to try to make things work. And sometimes shit just don't work out. And sometimes people will switch up. And I think that, because Kevin spoke to a lot of our fears. And that's how I had lived my life when it came to relationships. And a lot of people say, well, you don't need Kevin Sam. I've read comments. Well, you don't need Kevin Sam. You don't need nobody to tell you that. That's something you should already know. Well, guess what? It may be something we already know, but sometimes when you hear it from a particular person, then it'll resonate with you. And then you oh my God. Kevin really helped me to face my fears because I didn't know what was wrong with me. Why didn't I want a family? Why didn't I want the husband? Because I didn't feel like I was good enough that I could keep him happy. And I was just worried about keeping somebody happy. And I didn't know that until I listened to Kevin Samuels. And I don't care what y'all say, because sometimes you just don't you don't get it until you hear it a particular way from a particular person. Now, if he would have said it in a nice way, I probably wouldn't have received it. I probably wouldn't even heard it. It probably would have went over my head. But some of us, we need that tough love. We need somebody to really, say it how it is. I don't understand what's wrong with y'all. Some of y'all out here that's just, people got to walk on eggshells around niggas. And it don't make sense. And if you didn't like him or how he said things, just change the fucking channel. You don't have to listen. But for people to go out their way, and like, go out your way to try to make this man, some kind of villain. When these women will call his show on their own, and all of a sudden these women don't have a mind of their own. They're a bunch of airhead women that, most of them had degrees, had been married before. It's a lot of people out here that don't really know how to navigate through life. We just going with the flow. We just, you know, doing it uh flying by the seat of our pants, or we just do the best we can. And I didn't agree with everything Kevin said, you know. But the whole weight thing, you know, it's just sad that because you tell somebody the truth that you're overweight. And I told my daughter, I don't want to lose my train of thought, but my daughter is 5'6", 180 pounds, thick. Okay. Now every man don't want that. Granted, and I say thick, and technically it's obese. That's technically what it is. Like, come on now. And I had to tell her, like, yo, when Kevin talked about making room, having room for the babies, because you're going to put on at least 30 to 50 pounds, that shit is real. Like, what do you want him to say? And I told my daughter, and I just heard her the other day talking about, I got to get back in the gym. I got to go back to the gym. And I warned her. And one thing she would never be able to say is my mother didn't tell me. She had that first kid because she already thickums. Obese, if you want to say obese, that's fine. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Um, but that first kid, she better listen. I done already told her, dude, 30 to 50 pounds automatically. It's not like she was skinny like me and gonna be all baby. No, ma'am, you gonna blow up like she's gonna blow up. And that's just what it is. So, it's up to her. Um, and I put it out there in love because I'm not trying to hurt my daughter, but I want her to be aware of these things. And had it not been for Kevin, I'd still be sitting there twiddling my thumbs thinking everything is okay. And she'd be walking around, um, not sure of what to do in her, when she finally decides to settle down. So I had the tools, and I'm not saying he's not a therapist. He was not a therapist. Nobody, he never claimed to be any kind of therapist, psychiatrist, none of that. And if I could find um videos where I can learn some new recipes or learn some new workout routines, I could damn sure listen to a man talk about relationships, and give his opinion and advice, and if you decide to take it as what's the word? Take it as Bible, that's on you. He's, what was he saying yesterday, matter of fact, or somebody said it, but it's a saying, take the meat and spit out the bones. I just saw an article about canceling him. And I had a little back and forth with Courtney Michelle because I did get in her comment section, and I just want to apologize because I was unsure. I'm like, who is confirming this? Like, I want confirmation, and she checked me. I love Courtney, she's so pretty. But what was I saying about her? Anyway, what was uh I forgot my train of thought. But anyway, Kevin helped me to also, just put certain things into perspective. I'm 43 now, or about to be 43 next month. And no, I don't have the same options that I had when I was in my 20s. So, and I'm not the one that's going to be calling and talking about where's my high value man and all that dumb shit. I just want a regular dude that work however he work, and eventually when it comes down to it, we take care of each other. One gets sick, I take care of him, he take care of me. I collect his pension, he collect my pension, whoever die first. At the end of the day, that's all I got left to give, because you ain't getting no babies. So that's all I got. And so I don't know, I have some more thoughts, but I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. Thanks for listening. I'm sure not a lot of people gonna whatever. But I just felt like sharing, because I really do feel like I have him to thank for my enlightenment. And I was just thanking God for him because I didn't have a father to share this information with me. Um of course I had a dad, but the only discussion we had was keep your legs closed, don't worry about boys, worry about books. Which he was right. He was right. And for some girls, that's all you need to hear. But there was no relationship, there was no hugs, there was no nothing. None of that. Just work. He went to work, he came home, went to sleep, watched TV. He was in the home. He didn't leave us. He provided. So I'm not downgrading him or disrespecting him in that way. I'm just trying to be honest. And yes, that should have been enough. Leave them boys alone and focus on your school. Um, but listening to Kevin really just gave me a better understanding of how men think. And it's not all what he say is true, you know, because I know high value men is separate from, you know, working class men or whatever. Um, but I had a friend that I actually used to date when I was in high school. We met up again. And I said, so why aren't you trying to date 20 something year olds? I thought that's what y'all do when y'all get to in your 40s. And he said that, he wasn't interested. They couldn't do nothing for him and he didn't want no more kids. So, you can meet a 40-some-year-old man that already have kids and they done having kids and get married to him. Like everybody just tried to act like everything he said was Bible. And instead of just, taking what you needed and leaving the rest. But on that note, I said I was going to end this about a minute and a half ago. So I'm going to end it here. Thank you for listening, guys. Hope you come back for some more. I got some reactions I'm going to start uploading uh probably tonight. Okay. Thank you. Bye, y'all.